It's almost football time, and we have all 6 high school varsity coaches here to give us a preview. Next on Conversations. Hello there, and welcome to the football edition of Conversations. I'm Jeannie Curtis. AISD-TV sports announcer John Nelson had a chance to sit down and talk with our head varsity football coaches. John?
Well, thanks, Jeannie. Another football season is right around the corner. As always, we visit with all 6 coaches in the AISD. We begin with the Arlington Colts head coach Scott Peach at year number 12. Arlington, a playoff team last year, advancing to the first round. Scott, before we talk football, overall last year it was a successful athletic season at Arlington High. A lot of good things happened sports-wise at AHS last year.
Yeah, we're really proud of our program. You know, we've kind of focused on the last several years bringing in good leaders for our athletic programs. An example, Kim Spencer has taken over our volleyball program and has done really a remarkable job the last couple of years, but won a district championship, went several rounds deep, and was very pleased with that. Jeff Waldrop, our head boys soccer coach, has been with me from the beginning at Arlington High, but they went 4 rounds deep in soccer last year, the deepest run that we've ever had in the history of Arlington High School, and couldn't be more proud of his program. David Nix continues to churn them out year after year. He's been with me all 11 years at Arlington High, going on 12th year together. But what he did with the baseball program, having a very successful season, and then so many other sports, you know, did a wonderful job. And so we're really excited about what we're doing, and we're excited about where we're headed this year too.
All right, Coach, 46 Letterman returns, 6 on offense, 7 on defense. I know you have to be excited about the overall numbers.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of kids back, and this is a really good senior class for us. They've got good leadership. We had 9 all-district players from last year back, and all of them are seniors in this group, and so we're really excited about them. You know, they live and breathe football. Arlington High School is important to them, and so you look on the offense side of the ball, but some of those kids, Dylan Whitaker, Raymond Sheard, Mason Shaw, Broderick Bell, all those are all-district players coming back. On the defensive side, we've got Cassius Grady, Cam Carter, Antonio Baruman, Curtis Foley, we've got a kicker, Brendan Kahn. All those kids are going to be seniors that were all 9 of them were all district football players last year, and there's more than just that in that class. So they're good. They proved to be good leaders for our entire program this year.
Your running back, Raymond Sheard, he can really control the tempo. Talk about him and your quarterback, Hunter Collins. Is he the new leader on offense?
Hunter Collins is our new leader. Very smart kid, 13th in his class out of 700 kids. Very physical, competitive person. In fact, he's been a varsity wrestler since he was a freshman, and he's been starting baseball catcher for the last 2 years as well. And so just an all-around outstanding young man. But for that position at quarterback, to be the competitor that he is, to be as smart as he is, we're really excited about him. With Raymond Sheard, 3rd year as our tailback, you don't get many like that. And what I mean is that he has tremendous speed, runs a 4.4 40-yard dash, you know, was the 100-meter champion in the district as a 9th grader and as a sophomore. On top of that, he's got a great frame. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, and so he can carry a load and very physical. So it's a really good 1-2 punch for us offensively.
Scott, you're very strong at linebacker.
Well, all 3 of them are back. And this back 7 that we have, including our secondary, is probably as good a unit as we've had coming back in a return format as we've had since we've been at Arlington High in the 12 years I've been there. But Antonio Bruman, our leading tackler last year, 123 tackles. He's an outstanding football player. And then Matthew Anunda at our Willie backer, and then Glenn Davis at a strong safety position. Both of those kids returning starters, and all 3 of them really play well at that second level, and we feel good about our defense coming back.
In the district, Coach, I know you hate to look ahead, but this could be a true spooktacular. You play Martin on Halloween night.
Well, it's exciting for us. You know, our schedule allows us to play all 4 Arlington schools in a row. So about the week 3, we play Sam Houston, and then we follow that with Lamar High School. We turn around and play Bowie High School at Cowboy Stadium on October the 24th. And then next to last week, we play Martin High School like you said, on Halloween night. And so 4 weeks in a row, getting to play all 4 city schools, we can really preach if we want to be the best team in town, you know, and in this district, we've got to have a great month-long stretch there through October, finishing up with Martin High School on, like you said, Halloween night.
All right, Coach, let's talk about some of the young kids coming up. The Gun Gators last year may have had the greatest season ever in junior high history in this city. I think they only gave up 3 points a game. Excited about some of the youth?
Oh, you bet. The first thing is I've been really blessed. John Keys has been with me as the head football coach at Gun since I've been at Arlington High School. He does a truly amazing job. And he and his staff, I always know I'm going to get the very best that Gun can do. But this year, with the talent that they had, the kids that they had, what an amazing year. Undefeated. I think the closest game was the championship game, which was 42-7. And so cannot wait. And the nice thing is those kids have been here all summer working out up at our strength and conditioning program. And add to that, having my brother Sean Peach at Bailey Junior High, he's leaving us, but the job that he's done the last few years at Bailey, we've got the very best that they have. They've been coached extremely well. They're very impressive in the weight room. And so that incoming 9th grade class makes me want to stay even longer at Arlington High School. You know, people go all the time, well, how long are you going to stay? And if you keep getting kids like that and things are going as well as they are at Arlington High, you know, why go anywhere else?
Coach, it looks like you're ready to go right now. Good luck to the Colts this year.
Thank you, John.
Head coach Danny DeArmann in year number 2 guiding the Bowie Volunteers. Bowie last year finished 7-4. They made the playoffs, finishing district play at 5-2. Coach, all the things that went into being a first-year coach a season ago, how are things a little smoother as you prepare personally for year number 2?
You know, things are pretty similar. We're trying to revamp the offense and try and you know, get everybody on page with being a little bit more multiple. Defensively, we got some kids that we got to replace. It's going to be a struggle at first to get everybody. You know, we're returning 3 on offense, 3 on defense, and so with that, a lot of those kids played last year. We had a ton of kids that played up, and so we're going to try and do the best we can to get those kids up to speed, so that we can make a dent and try and make another run.
And being a first-year coach, Bowie last year decimated by injuries, but the resiliency really paid off, and I know you're proud of the kids that stepped up.
Yeah, it was definitely resilience. We were going into the season, you know, we had high expectations, expected to make a deep run in the playoffs, and then right there towards the end, we play Arlington High, and injuries just killed us. And same thing in Martin game, same thing in the Southlake game. We lost kids in all 3 games. One thing that we learned from that, though, is you know, to try and have another kid that's got quarterback work. So, you know, this summer we had 3 kids that were throwing football, just in case. But, you know, the mindset that the kids had throughout the season, you know, it was up and down with Keaton getting hurt and then Tony stepping in, then Keaton coming back, and then losing both of them at the end of the season. The kids just kept fighting. And I really think that off season, you know, we used that during the off season, talking to the kids about it. You know, bad things happen, and you've got to overcome them, and you can't rely on one person to make the team. You know, everybody's got to step up and do their part, and with that, you got a chance.
Is the quarterback job right now a full-time guarantee, or do you expect to battle right up to the first game?
Oh, absolutely not. Tony James has it, and we're going to ride Tony's legs and his arm as far as he can take us. Now, saying that, we do have a younger kid, Donovan Davenport, that has a chance to be a good quarterback for us, but there's not a battle. Tony has complete control of the offense, and you know, we're going to get into some different stuff this year, trying and use the offensive line that we have and use Tony's speed, and we got a couple running backs. A little bit different than the years past. In the years past, we've had lots of skilled guys at receiver. It's a little bit different. We got more running backs now than we've had. So hoping that that we can use that to our advantage.
Coach, you may have one of the best free safeties in the state, Nico Small, who can really flat out play.
And Nico has started for us since he was a sophomore, and very dynamic. One of the greatest things about Nico, he can get at the football, he can make a play in the air, he can find it, he'll hit you. But one of the greatest things about Nico is he tries to understand the game. At practice, halftime of a game, preparation, in meetings, he is always asking me, trying to understand where I'm coming from and what I want out on the field, so that he can anticipate because of the scheme that we're running. He's definitely one of the greatest kids that I've coached in the secondary. Great kid, great athleticism, but man, his brain is very exciting. There's no doubt that he helps me be the coach out on the field.
Keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely.
Coach, your schedule right off the bat, you played Jesuit, a homecoming game. How did that all come about?
Well, because of the rules inside the district, we had to find a team outside the city for a home game to be the homecoming, and didn't have much of a choice the way everything laid out. So that we had to do what we had to do. I don't know that that's the greatest scenario, but it'll be good to get it over with and start the season with a good game and a lot of support out there from all the past alum. So excited about it. And
in district, Danny, you've got AT&T Stadium set aside against the Arlington Colts.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We're fired up. Talked to Coach Peach about that. And he asked me what interest was, and we're all over it. I think it's a great opportunity for our kids, for their kids, for our communities, for our schools, to get out there and to be in a game like that, at that caliber. And they're going to be really good again. And we've got a little bit of a rivalry, especially since what happened at the end of the season. Where we lose our two quarterbacks and essentially they take a district championship away from us by beating us in that ninth game of the season. So we got a lot to play for.
Coach, good luck to you and the Bowie Volunteers this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Trent Fuller guides the Lamar Viking. Head coach Fuller's in his 5th year. Lamar, a playoff team last year, advancing 2 rounds before losing to Abilene Cooper. Coach, the sky's the limit this year. You're stacked on defense. What can Viking fans expect this year?
Well, just like every year, you're going to get a team that's going to give everything we've got. The kids have been working extremely hard this summer and off season, and we're about ready to get started. And with, of course, everybody else is in the district, and everybody we play is doing the same thing. So that's what makes it exciting. But can't make any promises, but we're expecting big things.
New classification this year. I mean, the teams are the same, only the number change. It's District 4, 6A. What about the reclassification? Well,
it's just terminology is all it is. Going from 5A to 6A. As far as keeping the same district, we're happy with it. It's a tough district just with the Arlington schools, and then of course every year you've got Weatherford, Pascal, and North Crowley that are always tough and always looking to get better as well.
Looking at Shane Bouchel's numbers last year, over 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. What area did he improve, and how can he be better this year?
Hopefully he can stay healthy all year. That really help him. But he's a special player, but obviously he's not going to be able to do it by himself. I'd like to mention Andy Gwynn started several games for us last year, helped us win that big game against Martin. He had great numbers as well. So we're blessed to have 2 good quarterbacks, and you'll see them both in non-district for sure. And they're two really good ones, and I'm spoiled to have them both on my team.
That was a big win over Martin, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yes, it was. You know, we got it handed to us pretty good the previous week by Bowie, but our kids responded real well, and that ended up being the game that got us a part of the district championship. So we're excited about that. What
about your special teams?
You know, obviously the big name there, Ryan Jacobs at Air Force now. That's going to be huge to replace. I think we'll be solid. You know, we're replacing most of them. We got Shane back punting. You know, as far as you know, kickoff. You know, as far as running down there, we're going to have kids that I think have the right mentality and the want to get that done. We'll be solid as always, and but obviously we'll miss some of those guys that graduated from last year.
What's it going to take to win district and for you to be another playoff team in 2014?
Well, I think it's going to be kind of like it's been in the past. You know, it's going to come down to Bowie, Martin, and Arlington High. Those are the three that year in and year out are always going to be toughest. Not that you can overlook anybody, but in the 4 years that I've been at Lamar, 2 of the years we've been able to share the district title, and the thing that had in common is we beat Arlington High, and then we beat either Martin or Bowie that year. You know, so it's those 3 games are the biggest ones. But like I said, you can't look over anybody in this district.
The JV coach went undefeated, a perfect 10-0 season, and I know you're excited about the kids coming up.
Yeah. Our class that's going to be juniors, very strong. Of course, that was most of the guys on the JV team that did go 10-0. And then, you know, we had several of them playing on varsity as well. So but we'll probably be pretty evenly distributed between our juniors and seniors next year, which normally you have more seniors than juniors. But, you know, we were excited about that. Our freshmen were 8-2 as well. Excited about those guys stepping up on the JV level, and a few of those guys helping on the varsity level. But in the same breath, you can't always JV success doesn't always equal varsity success. There's certain factors in there that you can't account for going to that next level. But we're happy to have a starting point and go with the kids we've got.
Finally, Trent, your non-district schedule: Richland, Keller Central, and Justin Northwest. As competitive as you would like it?
I think it'd be three very good games. Haven't seen Richland, you know, since I've been at Lamar, but I know we played them in Bowie at the playoffs first round a couple years, and they always gave us a tough game. Keller Central, the last 2 years, we've beat them they've beat us by a touchdown, and we've beat them by a touchdown, so that's about as even as you can get. And with Justin Northwest, we were able to play them first round of the playoffs both the last 2 years, and able to pull it out both times. But I know they're going to have a lot of guys back and be a very strong team. They'll be probably our toughest non-district game. So I feel good about it. You know, nothing that's not unreachable for a victory, but at the same time, there's no guarantees with the 3 teams that we've got lined up.
Well, Coach, good luck to the Vikings. It should be another exciting year in the district.
Well, thank you very much.
Head coach Bob Wager was in his 9th year guiding the Martin Warriors. Martin last year finished 12-3, advanced to the regional semifinals before losing to DeSoto. Coach, I know they say that time flies, but it doesn't seem like 9 years now that you've been at Martin.
No, it doesn't, and I'll tell you, it's been a great 9 years to enter in at a program that had been there in the playoffs 4 times in 25 years. And now go 8 years straight and continue to try to get a little closer and closer to that state championship. It's been a great 9 years, not only professionally but personally. We love living in Southwest Arlington. We've raised our children here in this community, and it's been the most enjoyable stage of my professional life.
Coach, you have to feel good about the numbers coming in. 30 let them in return, 8 on offense, and let's talk about the offense.
Well, I think you have to start there with the youth movement that we made a year ago. We started 6 sophomores and a freshman on our football team a year ago. Took a lump early on, rallied back and beat Skyline in week 2 with that many young guys on the field. Those young guys are now just juniors, but they're 13 games in. And so you start with Eric Walker, who threw for over 2,000 yards last year as a sophomore quarterback. Does a great job of managing the game. Obviously has grown physically and not only does a great job of taking care of the ball, but he's become a bigger threat himself, both as a dual threat quarterback running and passing. Nick Smith rushed for over 1,400 yards last year. We returned Jalen Bolden, who rushed for over 700 yards. And then two of our top receivers in Tyler Wilson and Christian Levy. And so the offensive skill positions are still young, but they've got 13 games under their belt.
How many touches would you like to see Nick Smith have in a game?
As many as possible, and we'd like to try to find different ways to get him the ball. Obviously, with Nick and Jalen back there in the backfield at the same time, there's a lot of different things that we can do. However, Nick is so well versed in not only his running ability, but his ability to catch the ball. He's a great screen runner, super special teams player, and so we're going to try to make sure that he is a major focal point of our football team, period, not just offensively, but across the board.
I was impressed with their linebacker, DeQuaylen Thomas, the district newcomer of the year.
Right, and you put him next to Josh Watson, who's the only junior captain we've ever had in my 9 years at Martin, and now returns for his senior year. I would take our two linebackers, DeQuaylen Thomas and Josh Watson, I'd put them up against anybody in America, not just in regards to the way and the ferocity that they play the game, but their work ethic, their character, their leadership ability. You know, that is where you want your best football players defensively, and we've got them.
A lot of incentives, Coach, to win district this year. Among them is that the district champion has home field advantage.
Well, that's something that's been discussed, and I don't have a final answer in regards to that. Obviously, football's a little different in the fact that you have some ownership of what's happened the last 3 years. For example, if we have to travel to West Texas and we owe a trip out there, that could potentially trump that home field advantage. But I'll tell you, anytime you can win a gold ball and put that into your trophy case in this district, certainly Pasco, Weatherford, and North Crowley, but then you throw in the great rivalries that are everywhere in Arlington ISD, it's hard to do. It's really hard to do. It sets you up in great position moving forward with the playoffs, which is goal number one. You can't win the state championship if you don't make the playoffs. But at the same time, if you can win this district, you can feel pretty good about where you are as a football team coming out and playing against anybody across the state.
All right, Coach, you've got a home game at AT&T Stadium. As I understand it, that's homecoming?
It is. We're playing a doubleheader. Arlington High and Bowie will be the headliner. At 8 o'clock that night, we're going to play our homecoming game against Pasco at 5 o'clock. And, we had an opportunity to play 3 rounds last year. We could not get into Cowboys Stadium. And, I just appreciate them and the efforts that were made to get us and our kids an opportunity to get into that stadium. It's the premier high school football facility in the country. We're right down the road, and our kids deserve an opportunity to get in there and play. That may be a little bit of a homer living in Arlington, Texas.
All right, that's okay.
But that's who we are, and that's who I am. And so I'm excited for the opportunity for our kids. I'm excited for the opportunity for all 4 schools, certainly the 3 Arlington schools. It's going to be a great night.
Finally, Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Julian Martinez, who follows a long line of successful all-district kickers.
He does, and when you start to add them up and consider the fact that in the last 3 consecutive years, we've sent 3 kickers into the Big 12, one at TCU, one at Oklahoma State, and now with Spencer Evans being the 3rd, who's going to play this year at Baylor. 3 consecutive years with kickers going into the Big 12 has to be unprecedented. And Julian Martinez is the next big thing at Martin High School. He's been in the program for 4 years. He trains like a linebacker even though he's a kicker. He's got the mental aspect that you want from that player. He's a 4.5 40-yard dash, which is a rarity at that position. And just an overall great kid. Spencer had an injury in the 3rd round of the playoffs last year. In comes Julian Martinez cold off the bench, and he hits a 40-yard field goal against DeSoto in front of 10,000 people. And so that tradition is not only there but continuing to grow. and the older kids are passing it down to the younger guys.
Well, Coach, I know you're excited. It should be another great year for the Martin Warriors.
Thank you very much, John. Always love doing the show.
Head coach Anthony Criss guides the Sam Houston Texans. Coach Criss in year number 3. And Coach, knowing what you have coming back, what's exciting this year for Sam Houston football?
Well, the fact that it's finally time, that we have kids with a lot of experience coming back, so we really feel good about going into this season because we have DeArmann Flowers, we've had Irving Hill, who's a top 300 athlete, according to Dave Campbell's, and so it's just going to be an exciting time. We're going to score a lot of points, hopefully, hopefully play some good defense, and hopefully we can have a brand of football that's going to be exciting for our community to come out and watch.
Are there certain areas where you feel that you have the competitive edge?
Now, because I've had a chance to get the program going, I think our edge is going to come with our team speed. All our kids bought into the track program, had a pretty good track season this past year, ranked in the nation in 3 relays. All those kids are football players. All those kids that ran on those relays, with the exception of 2, returned back to the football program. So we are a faster set of Texans now. And so hopefully that translates into the football field, because we need the speed to be able to keep up with those big guys at Martin and and Bowie, Lamar, and and Arlington High. And so to try to get a balance what goes on in the district, we have to compensate with our speed, because we're not that big. Those guys are huge. And so the speed factor, I think, is going to be what will level the playing field.
And speaking of speed, DeArmann Flowers, 2nd fastest 100-meter time in the country, the fastest in the state. He has, there's no limit to what DeArmann can do.
All right, our state champion, 10.3, I think 10.37. I think it actually came out to be like 10.385, and it was a photo finish. And so he's our wide receiver, kick return specialist, plays some running back, and so it's just very exciting to be able to coach a kid like DeArmann Flowers. He's going to bring a lot of excitement, should bring more fans to the ballpark. Everybody wants to come see the state champion. And 7-on-7, everybody wants to, where is he? Who is he? Where is he? Is he the one? And I was like, yes, that's him right there. Because, it's rare when you have the fastest guy, the fastest 100-meter guy, kind of like having Bob Hayes. You have the fastest guy in the country on your team. It's one thing to be in the area, one thing in the state, but we have one of the fastest guys in America, basically in the world, for his age group on your team. Is very exciting.
Who's Usain Bolt? Okay, your junior defensive tackle, Bernard Lewis, can really be a force.
Oh, yes, Bernard, going to be a junior. Last year, sophomore, he made great strides, uncanny ability to make tackles and create fumbles and recover fumbles. He had 5 of those where he created the fumble, caused the fumble, and recovered the fumble. Batted down 8 balls, and so we're looking forward to having a big year from him. He's lost a lot of weight. He's down to about 325. He had slimmed down to 325, but which is really good for him, and we're excited about him. He's had a great summer. He's going to anchor that defensive front that we have, which should be one of our strengths, because we're going to be a really big on defense this year. We're going to be big up front, and Bernard will anchor that.
Coach, you opened the season against the Manor Mustangs on a Saturday, down in Manor. How did that come about?
Well, talking to, actually came about on an accident. Coach Jackson and I are good friends. His brother, Andrew Jackson, used to be the head coach at Lancaster. They both used to be up here. So now he's at Manor. His brother is at LBJ. We were just talking, as we always do during the season, and he called and he said, hey, how do you feel about playing your brother? Because they want us to play down there. They're both from Manor. I said, oh, man, it was a great deal. Me and Zach, it's not a big deal between us. He said, hey, me and Jack, we don't want to do it. I said, won't we do this? Won't we do the Crisses versus the Jacksons? And he said, man, I like that idea. So I called my brother. He was excited about it. So it's a North versus South type deal. We're going to play Manor. ODY, where my brother's the head coach, is going to play Austin LBJ, where his brother's the head coach. So we're doing the Crisses versus the Jacksons, the Brothers Classic. So that's how it all came about.
Coach, you're a good one to ask this. It's been 63 years since a team from Arlington has won a state championship in football. What would it take for that to happen again, either on the 5A or the 6A level?
It's gonna timing, a little luck, and I think we're very close in Arlington. Bowie has a great team coming back. Lamar with Boucher playing quarterback has a great chance. Martin has a great chance. Those three teams I feel like are right on the cusp of being able to win a state championship. As you can see what's going on now with the Allens and the South Lakes of the world, it's basically the one-horse towns. But we're getting closer, and our path is good because we're in Region 1, and the number that we have being 4-6A is going to allow us to go west first. So we should be able to have a good draw. And then with that being said, a lot of experience, we'll have a good opportunity to come in and win a state title. So I think we're very close. Teams are getting faster. Martin's mile relay got second in the state track meet this year, ran 3:14. Those kids are football players. And so it's just Arlington High, Raymond Shear, the 100-meter man, the tailback. So now everyone has football players running track. Lamar, 4x1, made it to the state track meet with football players. So now it's starting to change, starting to add the speed element to our district along with the size. So I think the opportunity is going to arise for a team to have a chance. Do not be surprised if it doesn't happen right here in the near future, and I do mean like this season or next.
Coach, it should be another exciting year. I know you can't wait to get started, and good luck to you and the Sam Houston Texans.
Well, thank you for having me. I look forward to having everyone in Arlington come out and watching a good brand of exciting football this year.
Carlos Lynn guides the Seguin Cougars. He's in year number 7. Seguin, a playoff team last year, finishing 6-5. And Coach, the season is almost upon us. I know it's early, but what do you like about the team?
We've got a group of dedicated young men. Worked hard all summer, had an outstanding off season, had a great spring, and these kids has a tenacity. They have a tenacity that I'm really impressed with. They have a never die, never say no attitude. So I'm excited about this group.
Kelton Moore, your quarterback, meant so much to the team last year. He's now at Nevada, but what a season he had looking back.
You know, he's one of those type of kids you can't replace. You know, he's a talent. He was a great, person off the field. You know, he was just an all-around great kid, and I wish him luck. Yeah, we're going to miss him a lot.
Stopping the run and I guess kickoff coverage, is that a big concern for you this year?
You know, going into every season, defensively, that's, you got to stop the run. When you can't stop the run, everybody's playbook is wide open. So that's always a concern. And special teams wise, yes, there are a few games last year that we probably could have pulled out there late, if we'd had better kickoff coverage. So we've worked on those things. We've tweaked some things, and we feel like we're going to be better.
Okay, it's District 14 5A now. Ennis is gone, but Mansfield-Timberview comes in. What's it going to take to win district? And I know it's going to be competitive, but what would it take to be a playoff team?
It's this district is a meat grinder every week. All the teams are good. There are no teams that you can just say you're going to go in and this is a given. This is going to take great effort. It's going to take some discipline. We can't lose games. We got to make sure that we go out and take care of the football. We got to make sure that we make plays when it's time to make plays, and just limit all the mistakes. You can't play and win in this district making a lot of mistakes, giving these teams opportunities to score. You got to limit those things. You got to be disciplined in order to win this district.
You're going to scrimmage Sam Houston in late August. Is that good for both teams?
Absolutely. It's convenient because it's right here in Arlington. But we've played them in the past, and just having a team that you're familiar with, and allowing that kind of has some similar skill sets as your team has, as far as having athletic young men. So it'll be a good field test for us, and you know, it's in a controlled environment, so you know, it's not going to be that bad. We can control a lot of the elements of that scrimmage. So I think, you know, it's good to test yourself, especially with teams with a lot of speed and things like that. You want to see how you stack up against that.
Carlos, you start the season early, a Thursday night on the 28th of August against West Mesquite. What about the rest of the non-district schedule?
Yeah, we have open up with West Mesquite, and then that next week we'll have Carrollton, Newman Smith, and then we'll finish off our pre-district with Dallas Carter.
Talk about your defense, and I know you have some key players that really need to step up this year.
Yes, sir. You know, the strength of our defense is our secondary. You know, we have Runtavian Hickson, who led us in interceptions last year. He's coming back. He's a first-team all-district guy. And we have Malik Barnes, who's a cornerback who led the team led the secondary in tackles last year, coming back. So there are two key cogs in our defense. Hopefully we can stop the run and force them to pass. You know, we'll get people to play to our strengths.
Seguin Cougar football is just about upon us. Carlos, good luck to you and the Cougars this year.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's a look at the AISD football picture for 2014. Jeannie, back to you.
Thanks, John, and thanks, coaches. That does it for the show. I'm Jeannie Curtis, and I hope you get a chance to catch some games this season. Take care, and we'll see you next time here on Conversations.